If you are a data engineer living in Germany or even just working with German teams, you know how often technical stuff mixes with everyday language. I'm telling you, you can use these situations to learn German about your job, and that's exactly what we are going to do today. What I have done is I have put together some slides which break down the entire data pipeline building process using some practical German vocabulary. We'll go through these steps step by step, covering real tasks which you probably are doing every week or these tasks that you do when you build a data pipeline. Only now you'll know how to talk about these things in German language. We'll go through 6 key stages. These stages are Anforderungen klären, clarifying requirements, Datenquelle anbinden, connecting to the data source, Laden und Speichern, loading and storing, Daten transformieren, transforming the data, Orchestrieren und planen, orchestration and scheduling or planning, Überwachen und Fehler beheben, monitoring and troubleshooting or fixing the errors. Okay, first things first. Before you build anything, even the data pipeline, you have got to understand what the client or the product owner actually wants, right? What actually are the requirements of the end users? So, and that is called as Anforderungen klären. Anforderungen klären is the German way of saying, let's figure out what's needed. To be specific, Anforderung means requirement. Anforderungen will mean requirements. Here are some here are some helpful words. Besprechen means to discuss, it's a verb. Definieren means to define. Analysieren means to analyze. Festlegen means to determine. Nouns you may hear as well in sprint meetings or when you are taking down the requirements are, of course, the noun. Die Anforderung means requirement. The use case, yes, Germans also use use case. They can also say user story. Das Ziel, the goal. Das Quellsystem, meaning source system. Let's look at 2 examples. Was ist das Ziel dieses Workflows? What is the goal of this workflow? The other example is, wir besprechen die Anforderungen mit dem Team. All right, you have got the requirements from the client. Now you need data, and that usually means connecting to some API, right? Verbs that you may need are verbinden, to connect, einlesen, to ingest or to read, extrahieren means to extract, abrufen means to retrieve. Then some go-to nouns which you may need are die Datenquelle, data source, the API. Again, Germans use API. It's just that you say API, they will say API. Then another noun that you may need is Verbindung, die Verbindung meaning connection. Then das Zugangstoken or access token to be, I think Germans actually also say the word access token. They will not say Zugangstoken. Then let's look at 2 phrases or sentences which you may use. The first one is, wir haben eine Verbindung zur API hergestellt. We have established a connection to the API. Other example can be, die Daten werden automatisch eingelesen, meaning the data is being ingested automatically. Next up, time to move that data somewhere into a warehouse, a target database, maybe just a CSV file. Useful verbs are speichern to save, laden to load, exportieren to export, übertragen to transfer. Nouns which you may need are das Data Warehouse, die Zieldatenbank meaning target database, or die Tabelle means table, das Dateiformat means file format. 2 examples are, die Daten werden ins Data Warehouse geladen. The data is being loaded into the data warehouse. Another example is, wir speichern die Ergebnisse als CSV-Datei. We save the results as a CSV file. Now, this is where the magic happens, right? You clean the data, you shape it, you maybe enrich it. Verbs that are handy are transformieren, transform, filtern, to filter, anreichen, meaning to enrich, to add more columns, or to to transform the values that are there in the columns. Then another verb that you may need is bereinigen, meaning clean, to clean. Konvertieren, obviously, it's obvious, so it means to convert. Some nouns that you may need are die Spalte, column, das schema or schema. Then you have der Datensatz, meaning data set. Die Transformation, it's obvious, it just means transformation. Two examples are, wir bereinigen die Rohdaten im zweiten Schritt, meaning we clean the raw data in the second step. Another example can be, die Spalten müssen angepasst werden. It means the columns need to be adjusted. Now one question that you may have is, Spalte is column, then what's row? Row is die Reihe, singular, plural is die Reihen. Once the transformation is done, we automate the whole thing. Daily jobs, scheduling, dependencies, you know the drill. Some verbs which you may need are planen, to schedule, automatisieren, to automate, ausführen, to execute, überwachen, to monitor. Nouns that you may need are der Job, the pipeline, der Zeitplan means schedule, die Abhängigkeit meaning dependency. Two examples you can use are, der ETL-Job läuft täglich Mitternacht. The ETL-Job runs daily at midnight. Another example can be, die Ausführung ist fehlgeschlagen. Something failed. The execution failed. Yeah, you can replace Ausführung with something else, and if that fails, you say die blah blah or der blah blah or das blah blah is fehlgeschlagen. Something failed. And of course, something always breaks. Time to debug. Few verbs which you may need in this stage are überwachen, means to monitor, debuggen, it's obvious, that's a real German word, so to debug, beheben, to fix, you can fix a problem, problem beheben. You can use beheben in other parts of your life as well. If you're fixing a problem, then you can use this verb beheben there as well. But don't say that, I'm fixing the tap which is broken in my bathroom. No, there you will say reparieren. Okay. Then the other verb which you may need here is prüfen, to check. Some nouns which you may need are die Logdatei, log file, der Fehler, error, die Warnmeldung, warning. You can also just say Warnung. Yeah, that's also warning. Der Status, status. Two examples are, die Logdatei zeigt einen Fehler im dritten Schritt. The log file shows an error in the third step. Der Fehler wurde beheben, the error has been fixed. You can also say, das Problem wurde beheben, the problem has been fixed. And that's it, a full data pipeline auf Deutsch. If you work in tech here in Germany, I promise you this vocabulary will pop up in meetings. Okay, I'll say may pop up in meetings, Jira tickets, Slack threads, everywhere. Let me know in the comments which of these German words you can actually use at work, or maybe there is one word you hear all the time but never knew what it meant. Tell me and I will break it down in the next video. And yes, if you are learning German and working in tech, you can subscribe and follow us on YouTube. I try to post practical German vocabulary like this every week. Thank you for watching and bis zum nächsten Mal.